emphasis on the treatment of women. While harping on a pastor who committed adultery, they never talk about how that pastor preyed upon a member of his congregation and he was in a position of authority with a power imbalance. There is little to no discussion about people who groom children. And grooming can either be for a sexual purpose or for biblical indoctrination. There's little to no accountability for how churches treat people who struggle with issues. And hypocrisy happens because there's little to no internal reflection. For those who don't know what Christian hypocrisy is, refers to actions by religious people who identify as one of the 40,000 Christian denominations. The way they live contradicts what they say they believe or what they say. It is a failure to adhere to a standard in which they have joined due to being in a religion. They present themselves as righteous and moral, decent people, but behind the scenes have no integrity or little to no intention of upholding integrity. The term hypocrite originated from the Greek word actor or stage player. It describes someone who adopts a persona or pretends to be something they are not, with the intention of gaining influence, power, or praise. In Christianity, this manifests when individuals, such as members or leaders, act in ways that are inconsistent with teachings and values associated with their religion, often appearing righteous outwardly, but inwardly they are a terrible human being. It can be because they have hidden secrets that violate their religious beliefs, or it can be someone who has no accountability, no intention of changing, and behaves in a way contrary to the religion that they're in. Some people say that Jesus condemned hypocrites like the Pharisees, which is true. However, he never did call out people who owned slaves. The church has specific guidelines that they expect their followers to uphold. Keeping the 10 Commandments, especially if you're in a more legalistic Nazarene or Pentecostal church, or if you're more liberal, hypocrisy still exists. Anywhere where white, straight people hold positions of privilege or leadership, there will always be hypocrisy. And don't get me wrong, it's not something that just white people suffer with. Anyone who believes themselves born again struggles with this problem. When your heart and your body do not match what words come out of your mouth, you are a hypocrite. And it's not just a religious problem. Look at the White House or any position of power. I would say most people in Washington, D.C. or in the Capitol Dome are hypocrites. America is built on hypocrites because at the end of the day, hypocrites are people who have no integrity, they don't know the meaning of the word honesty, and they're a liar. Some are so steeped in hypocrisy, they don't even realize they are lying. A lot do know that they are lying. Because if you have to act in order to be a decent person, you're not a decent person. Anyone who is a good person because they fear God or fear punishment is not a good person. A good person is a good person and acts like a good person regardless of potential punishment or social shunning. The issue with hypocrisy, they preach against adultery, but when they find out their pastor has committed adultery, he's suspended for 6 weeks and is called back into ministry. There is no accountability because the only accountability that ever comes out of a hypocrite is with the intention of being restored. What about the victims of people who did not consent? Or worse, they thought they consented, but consent cannot exist when there is a power imbalance. How many people's lives and religious beliefs have been ruined because of hypocrites? How many people have died because of hypocrites? Religion at its whole is a system of control. And where there is control, there is no integrity. If you have to be controlled or only feel safe in a high-controlled religious environment, hypocrisy is nearby. And when you're in a religion that focuses more on adultery and homosexuality than it does on touching and grooming children or domestic violence, you have a problem. And the problem is just getting worse. 1 out of 3 people who go to church no longer goes to church because of hypocrisy. If you ask people why they turned away from religion or Christianity, hypocrisy of church leaders or members is the second most used reason. Hypocrisy, pride, and unwelcoming environments are all the second reason why people have stopped identifying in a specific religion or denomination. Hypocrisy is not going anywhere. The only difference is, with social media, we can now post when somebody is a hypocrite or record them. If there is no taking accountability or